Gotta do it for yourself and kicking bars since you were young. Lions on your kit, but you've been playing since a cop. When you're stepping on the pitch, you know you gotta...
Bruno Fernandes with a brace for Portugal to give them their first win at a World Cup against a South American club since 1966. And ironically, that was also against Uruguay, who themselves faced a showdown in the final game of their group stage phase against their enemy, Ghana, their rivals, Ghana. The famous Luis Suarez handball penalty miss from, I forget who took the penalty now. His name's now left my mind. It will come back to me in a moment. But the penalty miss and the celebration down the tunnel, that's going to be happening. Ronaldo tried to claim a goal tonight, but it was Bruno Fernandes who completed a brace and nearly a hat trick at the end. Ajamo is it Gian? That was it. Yeah. I know who you mean. Him. Yes, him. That's the guy. Name. It was in my head. It just disappeared at the 11th. But yeah, as I say, a brilliant night tonight for Portugal. They qualify along with Brazil and France to the round of 16. They more than likely to win their group from this point. I think they can still not, but they probably will go on to win their group from this stage. And of course, Bruno Fernandes, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to hide my bias. I am very, very happy indeed with his performance. I thought he was sublime throughout the course of the game, held onto the ball well, good passer, worked so hard for his team. And there's been so many players at this World Cup that have been praised for working hard. And it's an element of Bruno Fernandes that gets ignored. And that was brilliant tonight. And look, his first goal was fortuitous to be his goal because it was a cross. But they're the best crosses. They are the best crosses. You cross the ball into a deadly area where if everybody misses it, it goes in. Double jeopardy. Ronaldo should have got his head to it, but he didn't. The pass was so good. It deserved a goal from it. And Bruno ended up getting the actual goal rather than the assist. And then he steps up after winning the penalty. Brilliant little bit of skill to make the player drop. Try to pass it through his leg. It's hit the hand, which is controversial in many people's eyes. But they get the penalty. He steps up and he puts it away. That's now 2 assists and 2 goals at this World Cup for Bruno Fernandes. For me, the best player at the tournament now so far, especially from an attacking element, because he's leading the race in that way, shape, and form. I want to get your thoughts and feelings on that. I want to hear what you think about Portugal as well. It's 2 games now. They've won them both. Maybe not the most scintillating football, but it is 2 wins on the bounce, which is very, very important for them. And Uruguay as well. I want to get your takes on them in the comment section because from my standpoint, they remind me of Belgium, an aging team that doesn't believe. And I'm glad they lost because they didn't start attacking until the 70th minute. And I just sat here and thought to myself, why? You actually started to open Portugal up. They could have scored. They hit the post. There was Suarez nearly put it in at the near post when it was 1-0. But maybe if they just would have attacked sooner, they wouldn't have lost this game. If they would have attacked more against South Korea, they may have won the game. And that pragmatism, that negativity, that fossil football has rightfully been beaten because us, the paying viewers, and we are paying, by the way, whether you're watching on terrestrial TV, we are paying their wages. There's a reason that so much money is put into these sports now because we all watch it. The advertisers spend money because we buy their products. We pay their wages. Whether you pay for a ticket or not, you pay the wages of footballers. And we want to be entertained, especially at tournaments that are short-lived. I understand really bad teams being pragmatic in the Premier League just for survival, to earn more money. But at the World Cup, why not try and win? Why not try to win, Uruguay? And I'm not going to lie. Listen, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm not from Ghana. I've got some good Ghanaian friends in my life, and I still feel that handball. I still feel it. And look, we've got young Palestri, a Man United player on the pitch, don't care. Cavani, ex-Man United player, don't care. I want these men out for multiple reasons. Multiple reasons. I hope Ghana, I'll be a member of the Black Stars, whatever day they play. It will be next Thursday, I assume. Next Thursday or Friday. This Friday, sorry, I think it is. I will be Ghanaian on Friday. I'm changing my name, Terry Mensah, in the house, bruv. I know that's definitely a Ghanaian name. About 4 of my friends have got that same surname. They're not related. Very common name. Like Smith in England. But that's it, me. Terry Mensah on Friday. I am Ghanaian on Friday. Do you know what I mean? It's like the FIFA president. On Friday, I'll feel Ghanaian. 2 games, 2 goals, 2 assists for Bruno. I'm sorry, Terry. Comparing Portugal to Belgium is ridiculous. Nobody in the round of 16 wants to play. No, I said I'm comparing Uruguay to Belgium. Uruguay to Belgium. You must have misheard me, bruv. Just old and not really trying, etc. Portugal have been dangerous. They're not the most scintillating, but they have been dangerous so far at this tournament. I'm not even going to talk on Ronaldo tonight because these fanboys will cry. I didn't see too much. There's a really good pass he made on a counter attack at 1-0 up. I mean, he even missed his header because he just didn't quite have enough to get there, which is mad. 2 years ago, he makes a header and he scores, but there we go. Terry, they are top 4 for sure. Incredible match. I think over the 2 games, and we're now there, all of the second games have been played. Portugal would move into my top 4, maybe slightly ahead of England. Although England didn't. England's first game weighs heavy because of the 6 goals, but it didn't score in the next. Portugal have done what they've done, and Portugal have got the best player at the tournament so far in Bruno Fernandes. And if you can name me a player that's been better than him at this tournament, I want to hear who it is, and I'm not going to disagree with it. I just want to know. But Bruno Fernandes has been the best player at this tournament so far. 2 goals, 2 assists. Brilliant play throughout. Like, hasn't really put a foot wrong. He might have given the ball away a few times, but everybody else has. He has been sensational. And as I say, you compare it to a player that like KDB, who he's kind of head to head with on terms of player individual stuff when it comes to the Premier League. The difference in their World Cups has been night and day. And I need to hear from Have Hope, because Have Hope always says on streams, he judges players by what they do at World Cups. If you don't deliver at World Cups, you're not a world-class player. You're not a star player. What you're saying now about Bruno Fernandes, Have Hope, I am calling you out. Calling everybody out that's been on this channel that slagged off Bruno Fernandes. I'm calling out Lies. I'm calling out Have Hope. I'm calling out Lee Gunner tomorrow, 12 p.m. Make sure you're tuning in. I'm even calling out KJ. Bruno annoys me. He annoys me. Listen, no, I'm joking. He's backstage and winding him up. I'm just calling out anyone that's never put respect on this guy's name. He may not look the best, but the level of output, the level of delivery, the level of consistency of the past 4 to 5 years has been brilliant. He only regressed at Man United because they changed his role because somebody else came into the football club. You watch him start to fly again when he returns. And he was just towards the end of it as well. Terry Amate. Yeah, Marte's been good. Oh, no, Terry Amate. I thought you meant Amate at the back. I thought he was very good today, by the way. Terry Mensah, Terry Amate. We could definitely do that. We could definitely do that. Amate or a Mensah. We could do a double barrel name. Terry Amate Mensah. That actually sounds quite nice as a flow to that. My bad, Terry. I was hearing off. My hearing was off. My bad. No worries. I didn't go so sorry, my friend. I appreciate the comment. No worries at all. Mbappe's been brilliant so far at the tournament. I think, again, if Mbappe was voted as the best player and Bruno comes second, I wouldn't cry about it. Very good shout. Kudos as well. That's a great shout for player of the tournament. Also, he has been fantastic. Mohamed Kudus has been great as well. That's another brilliant shout. I really love that. Casemiro is better, but Bruno's second. Again, no issues with that claim. I'm seeing a few that are mad. Someone here says Messi. Messi not been the best at this tournament. No, he definitely hasn't. No, he definitely hasn't. Bruno's been the best, is what's being said here. You know I'm an output guy, though. I love an output. Terry, stop ignoring Mbappe. I've mentioned him already, bruv. Terry, and I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that surname, just in case. Terry Boateng. I like that. That sounds good. That's what I am on Friday, bruv. I'm going to have to try and find a Ghanaian shirt somewhere. I'm going to wear it. I'm actually going to wear it. I'm going to go all out on Friday. I'm getting all out. I want these Uruguayans out of this damn tournament. That's what I want. Bruno over Pessi is what's been said here. Enner Valencia done more with less. Enner Valencia is a great shout. He's a very, very good shout. And as I say, look, I have an opinion. You have an opinion. I'm not arguing with your takes unless they're completely wrong. And so far, none of the names barring Messi would be wrong. But I would go with Bruno Fernandes. The outputs are there. And people saying clutch moments. He's literally been the main reason Portugal have won 2 games on the bounce and have qualified. And That's massive. That is really, really big from his point of view. United players carrying their nations. Well, listen, Man United players are doing well at this World Cup. The only issue with that means they might stay longer because I wouldn't mind them all going home. You had Lissandro coming on and making Argentina top class. Casemiro with Brazil. Bruno with Portugal. And listen, Rashford's going to start tomorrow against Wales, and I hope he starts. And you're going to see him do a little something as well. There's talk that Pulisic might be on his way to Man United in January as well, and he's been carrying the team. It's the Ten Hag effect. I'd wind you up. Unless Ronaldo is Marlon Brando levels of acting, that was his. He knows if it skins his hair. FIFA despise him though, so we'll try to rob him. Listen, in my opinion, if it skims your hair, it isn't your goal. I believe there has to be a significant touch, and the ball, when they slowed it down in super slow-mo, the ball's rotation didn't even slow down. It's not Ronaldo's goal. It isn't. And even if he felt it's like, do you know what? He wouldn't have felt it touch his hair. He probably felt the wind move his hair. It was the wind. You can't have a goal for wind, bruv. You can't. You can't. And I would have loved Ronaldo to have got it. It would have equal. But it's important not just to give it to Ronaldo, though. And you can't just give it to Ronaldo because of Eusebio. Eusebio has got 9 goals for Portugal. He's one of football's greatest ever legends. You can't just award a goal to Ronaldo and make him equal him. The stats have to be accurate because you're not taking away his legacy, but you're potentially putting an achievement that he still has as the highest goal scoring Portuguese man at World Cups in jeopardy. You can't do that. It's got to be fair for me. Most United players doing well, Bruno and Butcher. They are doing well, my friend. They really, really are doing well. CR7 is shameless. He really tried to claim that. Yeah. Terry, I like that. Go Ghana. Wish you would do a match review for these African teams. Do you know the thing is, I can't just today, for instance, I had to go pick up my daughter from school and spend some time with my kids. So I've been struggling to do the morning games. Yeah, it's just hard. I have to have some time for myself. I've got things to do as well. And the game start at 10 a.m. and I work through till 10. I just can't work 12 hours straight without doing things in between, with it being daytime. So I try my best to cover as many as I can. It's been frustrating today because those first 2 games were so good, as it were. But yes, no, I do hear you, my friend. I do hear you. But Terry, I thought United and Portugal were better without Bruno. I swear to God, he is the most disrespected player in the world class for 4 years, but no respect from rivals or United fans. Well, I don't expect rivals to respect him, but United fans, yes. They've been shameless. They've been found out. Like the guy's now balling out. Even if you don't think he's been the best at the World Cup, he's certainly in the top 3 or 4 players this World Cup. It's the highest level of football in many people's eyes. He's delivering, he's scoring, he's carrying his team. Yeah, he might not pass your eye test, but that's why your eye test shouldn't be the barometer for rating a player alone, because then you're going by preference only. And on the basis of preference over actual delivery, you're always going to make mistakes because we all have different tastes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a crazy one for me. Did we lose another Kevin? Where is Kevin? Has he been sent home? Someone said to me he's been sent. He hasn't been sent home. I can see it in the comments a little bit. KJ's here with Terry. He scored a goal today. No, he didn't, bruv. It's been taken off of him and given to Bruno Fernandes correctly. FIFA have announced it, and as far as I'm aware, I don't think there's anything that Ronaldo can do about it or Bruno. As far as I'm aware, no, it's yeah, they're both Bruno Fernandes's goals, officially according to FIFA. That's my Bruni with 2 goals. KJ's here with me now to have his say. How you doing, bro?
First of all, keep my name out of your mouth. A little bit about that. Listen, Bruno Fernandes is showing why that no matter what you do, no matter how much you despise the way that he plays, and no matter how much he boggles your brain, he is effective. He will do the job for you, and he is a very good footballer. This notion that is terrible, I do not agree with. He's unorthodox. He's sometimes awkward and weird. He makes weird decisions that no one else would make bar Bruno Fernandes. But he's not a terrible footballer. The things that he does, he can only do because he's good at football, right? So he's not a terrible footballer. Today, I just think he was absolutely perfect today. Helping the team, making tackles when needed, creating chances, making the right decisions, playing the right balls, scoring 2 goals. No one can deny Bruno today. The haters will find a way, but it's Uruguay, or Ronaldo should have had the goal, or No. Today is Bruno's day. Give him his flowers, and he deserved it. He played really, really well today. Very impressed. And if this Bruno can come back to Manchester United, we're in a good spot with Bruno. So yeah, very good game. But again, Pete, you can call me a hater. I don't care. Portugal they don't look good. You know what I mean? This does not look sustainable to me. Like they've got the win against. This was Old Man FC versus Old Man FC 2, bro. This was basically like the 2 old geezers coming out. Like you had Suarez having a little gander out. You had Cavani having a little run around. Ronaldo having a bit of a run around. Pepe having a run around. I'm telling you, this was an OAP charity match. Is what this was, and Portugal just won. But yeah, Portugal, they need to change it up to win the World Cup. To get through these group games, cool, but to win the World Cup, they need to change it up. They need to bring something more oomph to their attack, more speed to their play. Like, it's just too slow, it's too languid, and I'm not pointing fingers at any players. Santos needs to find a solution long term, because otherwise, their dream of winning the World Cup, which is what they're here to do, is not happening. So yeah, man. It has to be sorted out. So top 4 in the tournament? Nah, not for me. Still not for me.
I understand that. I think the team just lacks a little bit of fluidity. And I thought that when Rafael Leao came on, we'd get a little bit more of that. We didn't. And he actually was quite poor when he came on today. He made a few wrong decisions, some bad touches, some bad passes. But yeah, I hear where you're coming from. I think they need a bit more speed in that team. And there's just a bit of a clunkiness about them. But they seem, especially group stages, they seem to just be able to get themselves through. And when you break it down, I mean, it's the first time they've beaten a South American team since the World Cup in England in 1966. Like, that's
really
that's
mad.
crazy,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Like, it's a long, long time since they've been able to actually do that, you know. So, you know, they very much, you know, they deserve it. They're through now as an example, and they get to move on to that next level. But yeah, it's kind of weird because in both games they've dominated the ball. In both games they've had the most of the play. In both games they've been the better team. But you would say with that, you know, collectively as a team, you wouldn't say they've been scintillating. It's whether or not they can go to another level. I don't really feel like we've seen a lot from Bernardo Silva yet. Not saying he's been bad, but I want to see more. João Felix, I think, has been absolutely woeful at this tournament. I think one of the mistakes he made today, I kind of look at it and think, we've seen Paulinho in the Premier League be brilliant. Starting William Carvalho for me was a weird one because
he's another one of the OAPs, bro. Forget him, go.
yeah. I just look at it and think there's 2 or 3 players that they've got out there where I just think, are they really the right individuals to be playing at this moment in time in this way? I'm not personally convinced, but there's the thing with this team is there is potentially still another level for Portugal to go to. It's just whether or not we see it. But they're in the next round now, so at least they get a game where they can rotate a little bit.
Yeah, rotate. And and if Santos next game said, "Screw it, young guys play, go all guns blazing, and whatever happens," you can respect that because it's kind of like, okay, you're trying to change something. The issue with both Portugal and Uruguay have been so disappointing this World Cup. Heavily disappointing. You expect more from them. They normally play a lot better. They haven't scored a goal all tournament. Like, this has been a very disappointing tournament for Uruguay. But if you look at their team and Portugal's team, and quite a few of the teams going into this tournament, there is a lot of players that of yesteryear. Suarez, Cavani, Ronaldo, Messi, there's so many players that I believe their times have gone past them. The levels of each player is different Because I'm not saying Ronaldo's drop off is bad as Suarez's. I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? They're still at different levels, but they still get to a point where I feel like national teams are now need to start the changing of the guard. Like, and this is just not just national teams, but in football in general, the changing of the guard is happening. We're seeing like Poland, what they're going to do without Lewandowski. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Croatia, what they're going to do without Modric, Perisic. Like, there's a changing of guard that needs to be happening. So yeah, man, this is going to be a last World Cup for many, many players. And I'm actually looking forward to it because then we get something new and fresh. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
I do. Yeah, it's interesting to see who's going to come through and kind of take the mantle. Chris here says KJ's hatred and bias, they look lit for me. Ain't no way, by the way, you can doubt them so far. Hardest group by miles. Terry doing up Serbia better than Ghana.
I wouldn't say it's hatred and bias. It's just what I think how football should be played. You think that's cool? Cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'm perfectly fine with that. Hardest group in the group stage, though, questionable.
Yeah, and look, listen, let's put Serbia against Ghana. Listen, Ghana have been good at this tournament. You know, they were unlucky in the end against Portugal to not nick a draw. Williams, he may or may not be having dreams about it, but he may if they go out. They were great today, but vulnerable. But Serbia has shown some vulnerability as well. But yeah, like Ghana, deserve a lot of credit. But I still stand by like the opening round. Brazil had the hardest first round game. That's all I'm saying. Like I think it was slightly harder than playing Ghana. That's just my take. What I've noticed about this World Cup though is there's been a lot of people really offended by stuff that I've never seen people take offense by. So saying that I think Serbia are slightly better than Ghana isn't saying Ghana are bad. I said that I've not been impressed with all the. It's not been the most exciting World Cup yet. Today was an exception. I see people like it's been a brilliant World Cup. I'm like, bro, I'm not attacking the country it's in because it hasn't been that exciting. You know, I tweeted yesterday about the stuff that happened in Belgium. People are getting really offended at me, getting angry with me. Like, why aren't you talking about what the English did? I'm like, well, I spoke about that as well. So they were idiots. This is also idiotic. It's kind of, there's a lot of weirdness at the minute going around. I don't really quite understand it. But yeah, look, Chris, I appreciate the super chat, but there's no hatred towards any nation, I can assure you. Bruno was great today. United need him to help win the league.
Yeah, in 2024, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, we hope. We hope. We hope. Was this shameful by Terry to never invite Ty the GOAT? Yeah, I mean, Ty's been on the terrace before. Just very, very weird comment. Very, very weird comment. But there we go. Serbia better than Ghana when they have 4 players of that standard. Jesus, some Western.
Some Western skew.
Yeah, I just feel that Serbia are ever so slightly better. But again, it was a throwaway comment. I weren't actually talking. I didn't actually make the comparison. Let's just have this right. I said Brazil had the hardest opening round game. Somebody said, well, Portugal played Ghana. And I said, I just think Serbia are slightly better. Like, that's not if you think that's an insult or a Western skew, fine. I slightly better is how I feel. It's not a Western skew. If you actually look at the map, Serbia are more Eastern than Ghana. Like, and since yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't think it's got anything to do with north, south, east, west, bruv. Like, it's just an opinion. You know, I mean, am I being offensive if I say I think Wales are slightly better than Qatar? Is that offensive now? What else is going to be offensive tomorrow? Like, if I say that Canada are not as good as America, or America are better than Canada, am I attacking? And how does it work now? What opinions am I allowed to have and not have? Am I not allowed to think that a European nation is better than an African nation at football? Come on now. Let's not go down that road. Otherwise, footballing opinions will get really boring really, really quickly. My word. It's crazy. And then the same people saying, I've got an African bias. I'm literally, you weren't at the beginning of the video. I'm literally changing my name to Mensa on Friday because I want the Ghanaians to knock Uruguay out. Like, there's no bias, you know. I haven't said that Wales are better than the African than Ghana, have I? Like, that would be stupid because I think Ghana are better than them. Just said think Serbia are slightly better. To be offended by that is on you. Not going to change my opinion. Not going to cry, not going to run away. It's a footballing opinion. Deal with it without being all, oh, I'm offended. Shouldn't offend. Come back to, rather than attacking me and saying it's because I'm Western, debunk my actual point with a fact. Break it down why you think it is. Just have a conversation. Chill out, man. My word. My word.
Someone saying common hatred from Terry.
Yeah,
Terry
like,
just hates everyone. Apparently, you hate everybody because as soon as you say someone's better than the other, hatred. You know what I mean?
this,
It is
this
what
is
it
where,
is.
but this is the way the world is now, isn't it? If someone says, "Oh, who do you prefer?" I'm going to make some names up, Drake or Eminem, and I go, "I think I like Eminem a bit more." What are you saying Drake's rubbish for? That's how the world works now.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it's parents. Honestly, all the parents that everyone who does this, they should be locked up in the gulag because the parents have ruined their children. They really have.
Terry. We did this after the last round of games. I think we should do it again. Game week 2, round 2 of games. Your team, our team.
Yeah.
Schnezny Nets.
Chesney.
Yeah, he saved the pen against Saudi Arabia and made some good saves. Got Poland the win.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a bad shout, Chesney. We're putting both games together, though, right?
No. Just this individual.
I think what's better is to put waving up. 2 games in. Who's your best goalie?
Interesting.
That's what I would go with. See, I would probably go with Chesney. I wanted to say Allison, but he hasn't even made a save. So that's always defense. But yeah, let's go with Chesney in goal. I like that.
So we are doing 100% doing 2 games.
2 games, yeah, 2 games. That makes more sense. Right back.
Ooh. See now I had my team in my head, and now you just messed me up with saying 2 games.
Okay, but who's your right back?
Who was my right back? Now I forgot. My mind is frazzled. Who would have right back last time?
Can't remember.
See, there's no been real outstanding right back performances, has there? Really? We'll come back to that one.
Okay. So centre backs.
Thiago Silva.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a pairing. So I'm going with Thiago Silva as well. I think he's been immense. With Harry Maguire.
Over 2 games, yeah.
Yeah. He was good in the first game, but in the second game, he's the reason we didn't concede.
Yeah. The second game, he was.
Yeah, he was great. I'd go with Maguire and him. Left back.
Teo Hernandez. Teo Hernandez has been on smoke. You know what I mean? He has been on smoke since he played. Was it 2 assists in the tournament so far?
I think so. Yeah, I mean he's been very, very good. Again, I'm not adverse to that. I was thinking about right back while you were saying that. I was trying to remember the name of who's the name of the left back at South Korea that I was impressed with today, not right back. I was just going back to check. Midfield. Central midfield. We do 4-3. We do 4-3-3. So
4-3-3.
Holding midfielder, Casemiro.
I was about to say Casemiro. I think it depends where you put him, because Kudus is. Where do you put Kudus?
I was going to put him up. I was going to put him as a forward.
He's better. Okay, cool. Forward. If it's forward, fine. Then Bruno Fernandes, obviously, in there as well. And that last spot, who's been over the last 2 games been very, very good. You could argue one of the Spain midfielders, to be fair.
See, I wanted to put Pedri in, because although Gavi was in it the first time round, Pedri's been brilliant 2 games. Like he's been absolutely brilliant 2 games running for me, Pedri.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I think Pedri's been phenomenal. I think Spain have been very, very good, and they are I think team number 3. If we do a top 4, I think they're number 3 right now. So yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with Pedri.
Yeah, I put him in there. So yeah, that's it. Up front, who's going to be on the left hand side?
Ooh, left. Oh, Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah,
you have to.
I would go with Mbappe on the left, and I'll go with Kudus on the right. I think he's been like Saka has got a shout, but Kudus has been good in both games. And then up front as a number 9,
Enner Valencia.
Yeah, he's got to be Valencia. It can't be
Yeah.
anyone but Valencia in that position. Has to be. I'm just trying to think. Honestly, I'm just trying to think of right backs. So I'm honestly looking through this.
Yeah. Can we stick?
Milito's played right back for Brazil, so you kind of think, well,
Militao, yeah.
Militao's been in there. What's the name of the Moroccan right back? Because he
Oh,
was really good.
Hakimi.
Yeah, I mean, he was good in the first game. I enjoyed him. He weren't so good in the second.
He's been playing with an injury apparently.
Maybe not.
But yeah,
Yeah,
people want Hakimi though. Like the chat is saying Hakimi.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think he's been as bad as people have been saying he is. He didn't create chances, but thought he played well. I was quite impressed with Hakimi. It's hard. I'm just like right back is just a position where I can't think of anyone who's been standout.
Yeah,
Maybe
there's no
I'm just missing someone.
Yeah, like Ter Hernandez is for me. We stood out at left back. You could argue some others, but yeah, like right back's just been just a position where
I'm going to give it to Hakimi then. I'm going to give it to the chat and give it to Hakimi. So it's not a bad team. So Szczesny, Hakimi, Thiago Silva, Maguire, Hernandez at right back, midfield of Casemiro, Bruno, Pedri, and then a front three from left to right of Mbappe, Enner Valencia, Kudus. That's pretty good.
I think that's fair.
I like that. I do like that. That's pretty good. Some super chats here. First one says Ghana to avenge their 2010 defeat against Uruguay in the last group game and qualify for the round of 16. Kudos to Kudus, my boy. Go Ghana, go Morocco, go Senegal, go Africa is what
go Cameroon. Go Cameroon. Let's go.
Left them out. Terry, as a terrorist fan in Africa, please know you are loved out here. Your analysis is always fair and measured. Thank you, Mike. I know it is, and I know when I say things, they come from. I remember once when I was really unhappy with Martial in a game, and I feel like he was lazy today. And the names I was being called, they were like, "How dare you refer to me as being lazy?" They were like, "That's lazy." And I came with stats, and they still didn't like it. And I'm like, "That's just the point." Like people trying to shut down your speech by calling your names, and I just won't have it. Flops during the second matchday groups have been Southgate, Roberto Martinez, KDB, the Japan manager, resting his players, Anthony Taylor for blowing before a corner. Yeah, I mean, but it was over the 10 minutes.
Literally, like Anthony Taylor gave them 1 minute extra as well on top, and they wanted to call. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, leave Anthony Taylor alone.
Yeah, my flop though is KDB. KDB deserves it more than anybody because KDB has been a disgrace. What KDB said is absolutely horrendous, and then to put in the performance. To play as badly as he's done, he's a national disgrace. You know, it's a national disgrace what he has done to his country. So he's not just my biggest flop. He's the villain of this World Cup now.
Like for me, I said it on Twitter. I said it to you and to many of us in the group chat. He can't be asked. He cannot be bothered to be at the World Cup. He always complains about international games, like all the time. Every time, there's too many games. Retire then. Retire from international football so you don't have to be burdened for playing with your country. Because a youngster would rather play his heart out. Trossard, when he comes on, Trossard has done way more for Belgium this tournament than KDB.
Yeah.
And KDB's world class. So
yeah. You can also throw Onana into that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if anyone thinks he's got an African bias, but man's literally been sent home for disagreeing with. And the way I look at it is this: like, yeah, he's a good goalkeeper, right? But man's chatting to Rigobert Song, bro. Like that for me, my age group, that's a baller. Like, that for me, he was such like an iconic centre back when I was growing up. He was actually a centre back where when you're in the park as a kid, Liverpool fan only mind, he'd be the centre back that all want to be. Like this Song for me is like, I wouldn't quite say a football legend, but like definitely a cult hero amongst my age group. So to be chatting back to him like you are anywhere near his level of a player,
it's crazy. Of all the things, it's because he wants him to be traditional goalkeeper. Like, I would have thought a sweeper keeper being told to play more traditionally. All right, cool, boss. I'll do it because I don't have to sprint as much. I don't have to pass it short as much. Oh, cool. I thought it'd be an easy transition. But he's like, nah, modern goalkeeping or nothing. I'm like, you know what? Yeah. You keep that over there, innit? You keep that over there.
This here from Alienator says, once again, Fernando um, does nothing, was what said. Thoughts on Palestri's cameo? I thought it was bright.
Yeah, this is what I expected from him in the first place. Like, obviously, his first game he started, didn't do too well, but like, yeah, look, the directness, the willingness to run in behind and get crosses into the box, do some cutbacks. That's what Uruguay have him for. And personally, I think they should have started him anyway, because he's the future, and he looks really bright on there. And it's a shame that he probably won't get a Manchester United career, because it'll be nice to see a player like that. We don't have a player like that at United, so yeah.
Have you checked Twitter recently? Some fake accounts, CR7 fans slandering Eric Ten Hag, Bruno hater equal Pogba fan equal rival or negative fans. Well, of course they will. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Love United hate Glazer group say, "How dare we celebrate Bruno's goals?" and like laugh at Ronaldo for having it taken away. One's won us trophies, the other's won us nothing. You lot, that's. I already know what they're saying without even looking at their Twitter accounts. They can appeal it, yeah, but they can appeal it if they want, but they can't provide any evidence that he touched the ball, so it's Bruno's. And yeah, that's it. The reason I don't fancy either Cameroon or Tunisia is because they lack fighting spirit and resilience of Ghana, Morocco, and Senegal being real. That's a fair
Oh,
point
fair
there, my
enough.
friend. Thank you. I get what you're saying now. You weren't just saying go all teams. You were just saying like
Yeah, the
these are
ones
teams
that
I
you think will do
fancy
well.
to do well.
Before we close up and all of that, that penalty, Terry, was a disgrace. Going back to the how is someone supposed to fall? So tell me, Terry, tell me how someone's supposed to fall. Are you supposed to fall with no arms? Is that what we're doing here? Because falling without bracing yourself is actually dangerous. So what
No,
could he have done?
I know it's one of those hard ones for me. I've someone sent me a thing of the law, and the law states that it shouldn't be a penalty. So yeah, I agree. It was a very harsh one, but at the same time, that skill comes off if his arm doesn't get hit, and they go through and score, and it's almost that's probably why. Yeah, it was harsh. I understand. Like when I saw it in real time, I thought no. Then I saw it in slow motion. I thought yeah, penalty. Then someone sent me that segment of the law. Yeah, it was very harsh. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm shameless. I don't care.
Like literally, I'm happy Bruno got his 2 goals in it. Like but like damn, fam, they just want us to have no arms playing football. Play like that.
Yes, like tie them up. Just tie your arms up. All the
Yeah.
time. I get you. Viewers, thank you all very, very much for tuning in and having your say. Back tomorrow, League Gunner with me at midday, and then we'll be live after the 3 o'clock and the 7 p.m. games, because essentially it's knockout football from tomorrow. It really, really is. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. KJ, always a pleasure. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thank you.